the old 23 Buick that I was working on before I got the unexpected purchase of the belly tanks. So if you kind of look here, our radiator front end, 23 Buick, cowl area, 23 Buick, both seats, 23. This is going to be a fat fender, so all 4 fenders are from the 23 plus the running boards. So yeah, and then the chassis, axles, everything else is out of a 48 Buick. That's a straight 8. Sounds pretty good. Still work on it, everything though. And the actual back section of the roof is, I believe, a 58 Buick. That you can kind of see our seam here. This was actually out here, so we took a wedge out of both sides and sectioned it and pulled it in to give us kind of the look that we want. And then that's the back piece. This is the old hood, so that's got the emblems. It still says Buick through the back. We got other panels made for the back here. The gas tank will go back here. But we'll get back on this once we finish up the belly tank. It looks pretty cool. This is how it's going to run without the doors. So it's our take on the 23 that had the fabric tops. Just kind of a more modern version slightly, but still everything's Buick except for the transmission. We got 350 in that. So that's getting there. Well, need to do a little rearranging, so to speak. We're getting quite a good distance on the belly tank build, but we don't have too much more until we're ready to pretty much take it apart, finish welding everything up, and get the frame and stuff painted, and then start reassembly. The main issue I have, this garage is like a 18 by 19, and this takes up half of it with the other stuff. So there's not a lot of room. I'm in like a maybe 7.5 foot by 18 foot space to build this in. So once I start taking this apart, I need a place to put it, and a place to paint it, and then reassembly and everything. So I'm going to go and buy a trailer, and we're going to push this bad boy into the trailer, and then I'll have all this space, which is not much, but it's a whole lot more than what I'm working with here. So that's going to give me room to get everything apart and staged, get stuff painted, and then give me a good room to get it put back together. So that's the plan. Get everything kind of pushed to this side. I got stuff over here that we're going to have to move out of the way, the louver press, a bunch of other things. We're going to try to get this out that door, up the driveway, into a trailer. We'll come in here and wipe the floor down, and then get this pushed over and kind of get things organized, and we can get back on this build. So I do have quite a few things that are ordered for the belly tank that are starting to trickle in right now. Choke cable, some linkages and stuff so I can do the throttle. I found a cool vintage horn, one of the bull horns. It's actually a 6-volter. It's not one of the remanufactured one. This is an authentic one, and it's the lever action. So I think I'm going to use the little lever on our steering wheel. That's going to be our horn. So when we pull that, brake cable, like a brake line for a bicycle, will run to that. Hopefully pull that back. So we'll get that installed, which would be cool. I get the throttle and all that kind of stuff set up. I need to do the choke, or not the choke, but yeah, I got to do the choke cable, and I need to do the clutch lever and all that kind of stuff. Got a bunch more stuff that's coming in, so we're going to start getting that stuff done, get it to a good point, and then we're going to start taking things apart and getting ready to do some paint and cleaning and welding and get it back to assembly. So anyway, let's get the rest of this kind of moved around, pushed out, so we can get this out of here and we can continue on with the tank. I'll probably just do this in time lapse or something real fast to show you getting it out of here or whatever. But this is a pretty cool looking build. Once we get the big fat fenders and stuff on it, it looks really awesome. So it's it'll be pretty cool when it's done. So anyway, all right, let's keep at it. Well, I have some room. Not a lot, but double what I had before. So this makes a world of difference. I tell you what, I still got to straighten up and organize a little bit, but I have the tank in here kind of at an angle. Once I start taking it apart, I'll have plenty of room over here to store stuff, but just to get around it now, Looks way different. I don't know why, but it looks bigger in here like this now with more room, but it looks pretty awesome. So anyway, lots of stuff have been coming in, so I'll kind of go over that here and show you what we got, and then we'll start getting some stuff into this bad boy. Somebody commented that the last 20% of this build takes 80% of the time, which, man, it's true. I've started making a list. All these little things, man, they add up. But they should be pretty fun. Most of the videos has just been one main topic that we kind of covered, maybe sometimes two, but this will be some just little bitty things here and there. So let's get at it. Quick little update real quick. Our stickers came in. I think they turned out really cool. So these are 4 inchers. These are the plates that we're going to use for our stanchions for the shows. So let's get this on here real quick. And then I'll show you what we're going to look like so when it's done. So there we go. So it's on the little aluminum disc. On the back, we're going to put our Velcro. Doesn't really matter how it goes, but we're going to kind of want it straight anyway. There. We'll get the other piece. I always have trouble with this stuff. This other piece. There we go. Let's put that, lay that on like that. And then we're going to come over. Got our stuff there. And we're going to center that up on that, which doesn't really matter because we can adjust it with the Velcro later. Let's make sure all those little bubbles are out. Got a little one right there. It's all right. Yep. Perfect. So there you go. That's what it's going to look like for the shows. I think that'd be kind of cool. Nice. Well, this is the horn I found. It's an old bull horn. It's period correct. It's 6 volt. And if you look, you have the lever here. Once you have it powered, when you pull it, that's what sets the alarm off or the horn off. So I'm going to rig this to our trigger on our steering wheel. So should be able to pull it and it should work. But I've never tried this, so I guess we're going to put it in here and see if we can get it to work. This is the general location I think I'm going to put it. That way our pull line's pretty much in line with what we need. Let's see here. I got zip ties here to hold it. So we'll see what that does. So we're going to be somewhere like right in here with it. All right. Okay, that'll get us close. Should let me pull that. Boy, that's tight too. It's going to take some oomph. Got that there. Let's take this off. I got some connectors here. Now this car is positive ground, so I think I just have to reverse this. I think. I did reach out to Zach at Wired Customs, and he was a wealth of knowledge, so I'm probably going to talk to him quite a bit to get these types of things figured out. So, actually I did that wrong, idiot. Let's clamp that like that. I do the same over here. No, I did that one right. All right, so this should be ground. So let's do that first and that there. Say nothing happens. Okay, so that's good. So now when we pull this, it should go off. Or I'm going to get shocked. I don't know. Okay, nothing happened there. Let's see if we change these if something happens. Let's put you over here. Okay, that didn't do anything. All right, let's take that off for a second. Let's think here. What do we got to do? I mean, I'm guessing that's ground, and it's the only wire coming out of this. That's just strapped to that. Yes. I don't see anywhere else to hook this to. I don't know. I really don't know. So we're not touching anything there. We're not touching anything there. Maybe if we go to this. No? Hmm. All right, well, let's play around for a little bit. All right, well, I went through and made a new wire. These are just jumpers. The other ones are kind of corroded and stuff like that. So I guess we'll see. So I'm doing negative or positive ground. So that should be our main, that should be our power in. And positive is our negative. Maybe it hasn't been used in a while. Got a fine line. Can't do it fast, so let's pull it slow. Man, it sounds like a sick cow. I'll show you this closer. All right, let's see if I can show you this so you can see it, what I'm talking about. That goes there. That goes over here. Come on. That goes there. All right, so if you can see, let's see if I can zoom in for you. Take you up. All right. Okay, so if you watch, this comes up. It doesn't even make contact with that, and it works. So it's just a fine line. So if you do it fast, it won't do it. See? You get slow. And it sounds sick. I think maybe once you use it, the diaphragm will loosen up a little bit. I mean, it's not like we're really going to be using the horn that much. The only real reason I wanted this because I had that lever, and I didn't want people to be like, "What's that for?" and nothing. But we'll see if we get this to work. So that was that way. So let's get this in here. Kind of see what we got, and that's going to get in my way, isn't it? Oh, no, we're good. Let's go that way. Let's get that out of the way. Let's have those on there temporarily. So we're going to make a mount in here somewhere. Like that. Okay. Do I have a zip tie over here? Of course not. Okay. So we got two mounts we can use something with there. I'll just get this on here so we can have an idea of what we want. So that's going to be off. That's going to be like right in there. Okay. Let me get a little, I'm going to get a brace down here on the bottom to keep this up where I need it. And then I'll get some little tabs. And this ain't gonna take much to hold this thing right here. I can tell you that. It's not like I need a heavy duty mount. So let me get this braced and we'll figure out little brackets. We'll get this bolted in and then we'll figure out our lever from here up to our little brake lever thing. Work for you? Had some little tabs. I'm surprised that didn't break off when I welded it. Yeah, that out of the way. Let's get that one out of the way. Maybe that's out of the way. That's just temporary. Let's get our rubber brace, rubber brace, rubber brace. We're off there. We're off there. We're off there. We'll mount the tight there. And we have a piece of rubber here, but I don't know if that's coming out. Maybe. Yep, it is. Okay. Ow! Ow! That's some hot rubber. Whoo! So we need to loosen these up. I don't know if I'm going to leave that where the ground's at. I might move it. I mean, this has got an inline fuse in it. If you've seen these are cool. So it's got a fuse inside of that. So it kind of cleans that up a little bit. I think I had that off of a other wiring harness for other car I did. So I just have that raw right now. So not worried about that. So we need to figure out our cable. So let's loosen up both of these. And then actually we could probably just leave that sideways for now. All right, let me get our cable out and see what we can do to hook to this part here. Actually, I need to tighten those up a little bit. Got our just a generic brake cable here. This is a Black Ops. I just got it off of Amazon. There's the number if you ever need it, but just standard little barrel end. Tried to fit it through here. It didn't work. I thought I was going to take everything apart, but if I just take the main line out, we can slide it through and get that ball to sit in our little pocket. See a little pocket there? It'll fit into that groove, and then it's pulling tensions on it. You can kind of see. So we got our little sleeve here that goes in here. Let's pop our groove in. Let's thread this back in there, maybe. Get that tight, and then let's thread that in. Oh yeah, let's. Actually, I might take that off. There we go. We got it. There's that. So, okay. That tight in there. And now we got to line our cable back up. And that's going to slide into that, like there. Put this back on here. Where are we at? That's close. It doesn't have to be exact right now. Okay, we got that in there. That's there. Lay that back like that. So now we have to remember that we have our push button start here. It's got a spring, like a spiral cord that go on it. So we need to have a loop here. So when we pop this off and set it up, we have room to let it play around with. So let's see. Okay, so we need to pull that tight here in a second. Let's see. We turn steering. Oops, I need to probably take that off to see. So let's take that through here. We're probably going to have to make sure we have some room when we turn the wheel. Put that down there. Let's take that off for a second. So if we turn the wheel, let's get a little bit more up here. I think we need more than that. I think it's only so that way and that way. That should be good. Okay, so we have that. We can bungee that. I'll put a little brace on that. And then this is going to come through that hole. So I think we need to that comes back, so that's going to hook through there. That's going to hook through there. I think we spoil this to get some other movement through there. So let's hook this through that, through here. And I got to loosen that up some. I don't have a screwdriver. So what I'm almost doing here is just going to coil it up so I can have like a spring action if I need it. I think I've removed that. I might actually I think I'm going to run that above that so it doesn't have the friction of this on there. And then I'll tighten that up. And then this might not work and I'll have to try something else. So if that's going to come through there, we're going to have this come underneath. And then let's get that in through there. Let's get our cable loosened here. So I am going to have to take that off my ground strap. We'll put that on the other side of that maybe. Should work. All right, get that started. Let's get here. Come out some now, fella. Just need a little. Just a little. Well, move. Why are you not moving? You want, there you go. It wasn't that hard. Okay, we'll put the sheathing on the outside here. Actually, that ain't going to work out like that, is it? Because that's going to be kind of floppy and I need it to be grounded. So I think I need to either find a different ground or I need to put a nut back here on that side of that to run that through. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right, let me get a nut. Let me get this ground figured out real quick, and then we'll jump back to this. That way I know that's done and I don't have to think about that. Well, I needed a little spacer, but I was tight, so I just found another bolt and just kind of ringed it out a little bit. Let's get our cable. Fish it through here. Let's get this kind of started first. No, don't drop it. Nope. Okay, let's get you there. That started. We're going to do our temporary wiring here. Put that behind that. That'll work. Get this kind of tightened up. I think I got to get another. Where's my other hardware at? This should be tight enough and hold this cable. There it is. Okay, good. Let's give a little bit more oomph. A little on there. Okay. So let's get you out of the way. We don't need this. So this, I wonder if this will go back and forth now. Yep, it pulls. Okay, so that's a plus. So now we need to hook it to this lever here. Just don't know if we have enough. Let's see, what can we find here that could go through that? Let me look for some hardware here. We got some of these universal wire stops, a bunch of different sizes for wire and stuff like that. These work pretty well. We'll see if we can get this to work though. So let's see. We're gonna pull it up that way. We come through the back side here. Let's tighten this where I need it, maybe. And that ain't gonna get me in there, I don't think. Is there a short one or is that a long one? Oh, that might work. Now, why are you not wanting to go in there? Because you're probably the wrong size, maybe? Do I need? All right, does this one go in this one? Yes, it does. All right. So, I guess we're going to have to see how much we actually have. We're going to have too much touching. So, let's get a washer and a lock washer. All right, I got to do a little standoff here so I can get the right hardware. I can't have this bolt going through and then crimping on this because I need this outside one to crimp on the actual wire. So let's see if we can get that to come into here. Then this part will be fixed, and then we can adjust our wire as we need. And of course, I don't have my screwdriver. I put this bar right in the right spot for me to hit that, so that's not going to work. So let's see if we can finagle maybe. Oh yeah, we got you. It'd be good when I get this painted though. Okay, so we still got movement there for that. Okay, so now I guess we need to. Doesn't matter on our cable there because we can do that wherever we want. We need to make sure that's tight there. And I'm going to cinch that like there. Let's see if that's got that. So what we're going to do, hook up our positive to there. And we're going to do our negative, positive. And let's see if we pull this. Okay, first try. I got to tell you. The first try. I didn't do this and then turn the cameras on. I literally just did this. All right, I got some bracing fixed up for the hoses so they're not crazy. I'm connecting it back to the battery right now. And let's see what we got. That wasn't so bad. All right, let's get that into the pocket. And why are you not fitting? Now, we ain't going to crank this down yet for that lock washer, but we'll get it kind of snug, which I think we're snug. There's a little bite. All right, so there's that. Plenty of cord there. I think we'll run this under here. And I think this flexes quite a bit, yeah. So we'll flip you to there. And I think that's going to be plenty. Actually, we'll probably go less. I can always adjust that. Let's put you like that. So I don't know where this needs to run to yet. So we're just going to leave it right here for now. So like I said earlier, I've ordered a bunch of stuff for the little stuff that we need. It's just a matter of just knocking it out a little bit at a time. My generator just came, which is the single wire but really an alternator, but it looks like a generator, so it looks authentic. That's here. And it's got the inline fuse, so maybe I'll tilt the tank up, get that installed, and get our line running up to the front where the battery's at. Not going to connect anything right now, but then that part will be done. And then we'll probably work on the choke cable, and we got to work on the throttle, and then the clutch lever. I don't know, all kinds of crazy stuff to do, but it's getting there. I'm stoked that horn works. Don't know if you can be able to hear it, but I don't care. Whew. All right, let's keep it going. Like I said earlier, I talked to Zach Parks at Wired Customs and gave me a wealth of information, but he really recommended this single wire generator / alternator. Makes things a lot easier. So that came in, and then got some of their 125 amp fuses. Check out these bad boys. Nice little setup. Nice little plugins, everything. These are really slick. So I'm gonna put one of those in line from between the generator and the battery. Here it is here, 82001. Woo, look at that thing. Well, look at that. Tell me that's not pretty. Yeah, that's really nice. All right, let's get the old one off and we'll get this one in. Well, that's a fat no. Can't do that now. I pulled it out of the box, and the instructions with it said 12-volt system, blah, blah, blah. And of course, it's 6-volt. And then I looked at the application guide that they had for the different models and stuff, and they had one for a 6-volt, but the part number is different. So I called and left them a message. So there's no sense to take that off right now. I'm going to have to send that one back and get the other one in. Not a big deal. I might not have relayed it properly, but I thought I did. But can't do anything at this point. So, all right, let's figure out something else to do. Ow. Well, I have the choke cable routed, and I like the routing from the front. But right here, we start coming up short because we have to loop around, and then we have this long spot through here to get to the actual lever. I don't like that look there. So this is an 8-footer. I went ahead and ordered a 10-footer. So that should work, and that'll get my encasing up closer. Because right now when you pull it, when you try to let go with this distance, just the entire inside wire just kind of kinks up. So and if I just use this one to bring it up forward, then I have this weird loop through here. So I'm trying to keep it clean. So we're going to try to go with that. So I'm going to remove this. That's ordered. That should be in today or tomorrow. And then we'll jump back on this and figure that out. And I got a few clamps coming, so it is what it is. We'll get it right. While we're waiting on everything else, figure we run our water temp unit. I took the tape off just so we can kind of see it. Our fitting is on this side of the head here, right below the thermostat. So we're gonna get this installed. Hopefully it fits. So we can figure out our routing and all that kind of stuff. So we don't have to do that final assembly. We want to make sure everything kind of goes together smooth. So we do the final assembly. It should run smooth. At least that's the goal. So I routed this, our sending unit or our sensor up, and oh yes, it fits. That's a good day there, isn't it? Is this the same size or smaller? Nope, good size, same size. All right, we're just gonna cinch it down. I don't know if you can see it in there, but you can see the tip of that. Let me see if I can show you. There. So there's the tip of the sensor coming through to get our actual temperature. Okay, so we got that onto there. I'll tape this off here in a minute. All right, let's figure out we can get our routing where we need to put it. we want this to be cleaner back through here. So we'll probably turn this. This actually forms pretty nicely. So maybe go, actually no, we can just make that kind of come through here. That's off the way. That's pretty good. And I think we have, oh yeah, we'll have plenty of room up front. Do we like that curve? Thought about keeping it along the spark plug line, but if we have enough room to do that. Kind of neat, it just kind of molds to the way you push it. Yeah. I'm gonna clean that up. So let's put, we're going the inside line there. And the zip ties are just temporary. We'll figure out something a little cleaner later. Okay, so that ain't bad there. Okay, I like that. So we're gonna run down through here. Let's form this to this. From that to that. We'll do one here. There, okay. And then we have this little jog up through here. So let's jog that up. And we'll run this on the bottom. So it's kind of hidden. Got some kinks need to work out. All right, all this little stuff, man, it adds up on your time of doing everything. So we'll put another one here. There. And then back here, we're going to kind of come up. I think all that's out of the way. That should be perfect. There. And that. There we go. And then I don't even know what we'll do with that. Maybe I'll put a little bracket on that, but it's out of the way. So we'll just leave that like that for now. I do with my snips. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, so all that's cleaned up. Well, I was replacing the tape with the newer tape here, and when I took it off, here's the one of the sending units or the sensor ports, just like the other side, which I guess makes sense. I don't know if they had two temperature gauges back then, or if it went into one. I don't know, but we're only going to use one, so I'm just going to cap this off for now. And there we go. And we'll just have the one side. That's good. That's even better. Jeez, old Pete's, man. Let's put the pinky there. There we go. All right, so that's capped off. That's good. I guess. Well, I guess before I did that, I should have probably started doing the hoses. But I think we're gonna take the top tank off. We're gonna get our fuel lines figured out where that's gonna route. We got a little petcock that'll mount to the frame, so we'll get that attached. We won't use the clamps or everything, but we can kind of get everything routed so everything comes off in one nice little piece. So let's get this bad boy apart. Here's our little fuel valve. And if you look at the back, we had to do some crazy fabrication here. Right there, just to trim it out to get it down in that little pocket. Very complicated. That was a joke, by the way. All right, so we're going to put that in here. Let me get my stuff on first. Get this twisted here. Okay. So this is where we're going to go. That lined up here. Get that bad boy out of there. got the tank off here, so we get everything kind of prepped. Save those for later. So I got some 45s and I got some 90 fittings. I think we're going to use the 90s just by the look of it. It looks like it's going to fit that way. Thread that one into there, and we need it to point forward. Oh, that's going to be kind of loose. Huh? See how that looks. Let me think. That's up. I wonder if it ain't going to get any tighter than that. We're going to have to figure out something to tighten that. Oh, geez, that's good for it. Let's get this other one in. So where am I starting that one? I'm starting it straight up, if it really even matters. I think this one might. That one will work. I wonder. I'm assuming all these are the same way. So yeah, that's cattywampus. I need it going straight up. That ain't gonna work. And that's so loose, that's definitely gonna leak. Any suggestions? Other than putting a lot of sealant on there, I don't know. Yeah, I can't twist it that much. Dang on it, man. This one was perfect. I don't have to cut that out and put a new one in either. I don't think the 45 is going to work. And I have to have the 2 because there's no way. I don't know if that's up high enough. I could probably maybe use 1. I have to get in here and see the angle if this is low enough for that to come across. I don't know what to see. Yeah, that's garbage. Man. Well, let me sit this in here and see what our angle is to see if we're like this. Obviously, the fuel, we're going to have a lot of extra tank, but if it's up like this, we might have just enough. So let's try that real quick. All right, that's lined up there. That's lined up there. Actually, you know what? I think we might be good. Yeah, I think we're good. So we'll just use the one on that side. We'll cap off this side over here, and then I guess that eliminates us having to use a T. Well, so it'd been nice if this was on the other side. But I did get some plugs for when I coat the tank, so I can keep the threads good. So that's not going to matter for that. So we'll just use that for that side. Do I have anything else for that? Let's cinch that like that. Put all those aside. We don't need those. We don't need the T's. So we're just going to need some hose to. Oh, I am going to put a fuel filter. Okay. All right, let me get all of our material out and we'll get this bad boy bolted in. Now we got our fuel line attached to the tank. Again, with no clamps. This isn't permanent. Sit you on there. Actually, we're not even going to put the nuts on. We'll just put the 2 fronts on. Yeah, here. There we go. There's the 2 fronts. That's on there. Okay, got our hose. Let's untwist it because nobody likes a twisted hose. There we go. That looks good there. Make them out through there. And then we're going to come up. There we got our fuel filter. That's a little long. Let's cut that. Put that about there. Let's just slide this on there. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to put our petcock on there, our valve. Just cinch that loosely. So we need a piece of tube. We'll go from there. Let's cut it here. Let's connect you to there. And that goes to there. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to brace it like that and like that. What's the odds of this? Oh, I need about another ½ inch to that. Let's slide this into there. Yeah, like that elbow in your face. Bingo. There we go. Okay, so fuel comes out. We have filter, and we have the on-off valve here. So all we'll do is just we'll make some little clamps to clamp this hose back through here, and probably one there. Maybe put a little piece of rubber underneath here, up here, just because that's brass and we don't want a little chafing, but yeah, we can pull that out like that. So cool, fuel's done. So there's our capped off end, and then there's our 90, runs underneath, comes up right through here. We got zip tied to that frame, then onto the inside of the tube through here, through our filter, and then up through our valve there, and then right into the fuel pump. Well, that's junk a bit. Now let's put the junk bit back in. Okay. Tell you what, if you don't have one of these deburring tools, get one. They're amazing. So this is currently in the on position, right? On, yes. Let's take that nut back. On the on position. Just take you like that. Get a washer. And I got little booty covers that fit on top of this, but I don't know if I'm going to use one yet or not. I haven't decided. That looked pretty straight. We're not going to cinch this up crazy. Make that flat. So that's going to be for our 6-volt cooling fan. Bingo. That dash has really come together. Got our on-off switch there. Right to it. Turn it off. Heck yeah. I'll put the little black cover on it. I think that looks way better. Matches the gauges and stuff. So, yep, that's the way to do it. I got my cables here, so let's see what we can do. Never used this setup before, but I guess there's always a first time for everything in there. So I think I need to be about 6.5 inches overall for this cable. So let's hook that. We'll just go there. Let's cut that. Well, that cut like butter. Now I don't have, I wonder if I can cut this. Take about 3.5/8. Let's turn that, see if we can do this. I think that's cutting through. Oh, yep. Oh man, we got a few little stragglers. Where's my? It's all right. That's just gonna get cleaned up. I think I might cut a little deep. Did the same thing here. That was a little better. Okay, so got 2 of those. Let's do this end here. Got a bunch of these copper fittings. Okay, that slides over that pretty well. Actually, let me do that on the deeper one. I think this one's a little bigger. Squeeze together. Get in the hole. Oh, missed one. Got one. Okay. So let's do that. Got these Mamba Jambas. Open up. I guess I need another hand. Yeah. I go all the way in. Yeah. That did something. Ooh. It's not like we can't redo it if we don't like it. So it pinched it on the top. I guess that's not that big of a deal. Well, that's solid. Jeez. That ain't bad. I don't mind that. Okay, let's get some shrink wrap on here for this end. Let's do that. Oh, I turn off the fan. I'll just turn it. There we go. All right. It's a pretty cool little kit. I like this. Melt. I think that's pretty much got it. Okay, so that's gonna be on that end. So this is set up as positive ground. So I'm still gonna use red for positive, except this is just gonna go to the frame rail, what we were just working on, letting that cool before we hook it up. But same thing, we're just kind of reversing everything. So I got these clamps. Looks like they'd be pretty good, and I can tie in separately from there, so kind of make it kind of clean. So I guess, ow, that's still hot. So if this goes this way, that needs to turn that way. So I might need to come out farther. Yep. Okay, so if that's on the battery, this is gonna go to the frame rail. Need to go in like that, right? Sideways. That should almost be perfect. And I need a tool. And where did it go? Did I put it up? No, no, I didn't. It's somewhere right here underneath that tool. And if I don't like the way this looks, I'll get different ones, but I thought these like kind of looked all right. I don't know, it's kind of look aviation type-ish, which would tie in with everything. I might need to, actually I could probably take that in a little bit more. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead, if you look here, you can kind of see I still have a gap there. I mean, I'm covering this part, but I think I want that to stick through there. Or is that not a big deal? I think I do. So it kind of sandwiches it. So I'm going to take off about another 1/4 inch, and then I'll put this back together, and then I'll meet you over at the front of the tank. All right, here's our cable made up. I still got these caps on here just since this is temporary. This should go through the frame. Tighten this up on here. So this would be our main ground, which again, positive ground. That's on there, and that'll fit on that. We're not going to crank it on there right now, but just kind of see what we want. Once you get it tight, then that's when you tighten this up and get the right tension, and you push this back and it'll lock in. We have these other lugs here for if we have to ground something else. Maybe from this, we can run just straight to here, so we don't have to undo the main clamp. So that'll be kind of easy. But we have some straps that we're going to use that will ground from the engine to the frame, and we'll do another one in the back from the transmission to the frame. We'll probably have a few different ground straps along the way just to kind of tie it all together, but it's coming along. Well, I have to say, I think that was a pretty productive video, honestly. Lots of little things. All of it takes time. But man, it's getting there one step at a time. It's really coming along. I'm just digging it. The horn, I really didn't talk about it in the video. I don't know why I forgot, but hooked it up, and remember we couldn't get any noise, or you could hear like a barely, whatever. And I was like, it just doesn't make sense. So I put it on the 12-volt battery, and it fired off quite loudly. So I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Put it back on to the 6-volt, and then it started making some noise. So I don't know if maybe the diaphragm was just stuck from sitting, and it needed that burst to get it to sound off or whatever. But it was still kind of weak. Kept doing it, and it finally came around and was getting a little better. So I think just run it through. I might throw it on the 12-volt again and do a few little blasts through it just to free it up a little bit. But again, this isn't for like on the road. This isn't gonna be on the road. This is honestly the main function of this horn is for this little lever right here. Because I knew if I didn't hook anything up to it, somebody would say, what's the lever? And I'm like, oh, it's just there to look. So it has a function. It has a purpose now. So probably won't use it that much. Just kind of a funny thing or whatever. So it's the function's utilized. So works for me. Got our fan switch in. Still need to wire that back to the fan. I probably won't worry about a lot of those types of connections there because I can just route it along the same line and put it in some little protecting sleeve or something like that. I know we need to work on our hoses for the radiator, just so that's done. The new generator / alternator, hopefully will be here this week. We can swap that out, run our main line up to our battery with our inline fuse, get all that tapped and tied in pretty good. I do have a few other things coming for the carb or for the air cleaner. They're trying to make something that's not so janky looking. I just wasn't happy with that old one. What else we got to do? See, we got the battery, got all that in. There's something else that was big. I don't remember, but there's still plenty to do. I need to figure out probably some type of an emergency brake, or I could just park it in gear. But I'd like to have something a little more secure, I guess, for when you're sitting there or whatever. So, gotta do that. That's a different video coming at some point, but it's gonna be pretty cool. We'll explain that later. So I have clutch cable, or not, yeah, clutch rods. We got to get that in. Oh, and then I ordered the choke cable. I got some stuff for the throttle, so we can kind of get all that done. Get the gas pedal in. So plenty to do, little bitty stuff. So just bear with me. It's getting there. Once I feel like we're in a good spot, we're going to strip it all down. That way I can finish welding up all the frame, all the tube, get all that done and completed. And I haven't decided if I'm going to send it out to powder coat yet. I was talking to the guy, and he has some powder coat that's kind of like a brushed, it looks like brushed aluminum. I think that would fit in really well. I don't want to do black. I think that would stand out too much. I kind of want it to tie in and kind of just blend in without being right in your face bold. So probably I'll go the powder coat route on this. Not sure yet. But then the axles and our trailing arms, radius arms, we're just going to do those probably a semi-gloss black. I'll just do that here in the shop while that's getting powder coated, get all that stuff kind of cleaned up. And then when that comes back, it's reassembly time, and that'll be cool. So I'm trying to get everything done that I can, and then I can take pictures and videos of it just to show how it all goes back together. As if I have any reference marks or something like that. I know I need to clean up the tanks, a lot of the cuts and stuff, round those out, get all the burrs off, just kind of clean it up, make it a little bit smoother. And then probably the last thing before we put it all back together is I'll go over the tanks again with the mineral spirits and the Scotch Brite, just to clean it up before that's it. So we're rocking and rolling. So whew, thanks for keeping coming back for these videos. Please send me a comment. Make sure you like the video. Be greatly appreciated. If you got any questions, reach out. It's always great hearing from you all. And we're slowly growing. Slowly growing. So still a long ways to go, but the next goal is 1,000 subscribers. So whew. All right. Well, with that, I'll see you next Friday. Have a good one. Appreciate it.